Father God, thank you so much for the way that you form us, that you did such amazing things in creating humankind and in creating my life and the lives of those who are going to join me today. I ask you, Father, that you help me to speak clearly, to communicate effectively, and to even transmit my enthusiasm and my excitement about being a parent. Be with those parents who are struggling today and feeling hopeless or discouraged. I pray that you would encourage their hearts with your great love for them. You are such a good dad. You are such a faithful, faithful God. I pray that that would be a source of encouragement. And for those who are loving their life and loving their families, I pray that you just help them to have a blast together today. Like, really, really enjoy their day together. So thank you for that, God, who you are and what you have planned for us. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much for joining me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. Today we're going to talk about intentional preparation. So you're going to go camping in the mountains, right? And you're going to leave on Saturday night. And so all day Saturday you sit around and you eat hot dogs and potato chips and you hang out with the kids and you watch old movies on TV, and then it's 7 o'clock on Saturday night and you go, wow, the van isn't packed. Wonder what in the world we need to take. Yeah, that would not be very wise, right? If everybody is going to be gone, say you have 3 children, for an entire week camping in the mountains, and you didn't do anything to prepare, it is going to be a nightmare. Either A, you're not going to go, B, you're going to experience massive amounts of frustration while you try to get everything all grabbed up and put together, or C, you're going to make your family, your mate, and your kids, everybody else involved, stark raving crazy because you didn't prepare, you didn't help them to prepare, and you are caught off guard. Do you understand that if just a week in the mountains going camping takes a lot of preparation in terms of making sure that you have the tent and the tent stakes, the sleeping bags, the small cooking stove or charcoal if you're going to use the things prepared at the facility, a burner or a small camp stove, but you still have to have something to do that with. You've absolutely got to have pillows, blankets, enough clothes, towels in case it rains, maybe a tarp to put over the tent or to put over the area where you're going to eat. Oh, if you're going to eat, you have to have some kind of cooking utensils, or you have to have a lot of aluminum foil if you're going to do prepared in foil kinds of meals, which are sort of my favorite when I go camping. Probably a cooler, definitely some kind of things like bread and lunch meat or peanut butter, jelly. Oh, a knife, a fork. Did you ever try cooking a marshmallow over a fire without a stick? So you're going to have a knife or a pocket knife so you can cut off the stick. You get the idea, and that's a week. How prepared do you think you have to be for a lifetime? And a lot of us are not well prepared. It's really the truth. We might as well face up to that. We aren't well prepared to take good care of ourselves. So we're not even close to being well prepared to take care of a child or to take care of a home or to take care of a marriage relationship or a significant relationship. Yeah, we're sometimes not very prepared. That's the truth, and we need to admit that to ourselves. And so, my question of the day for you, don't answer it yet, because I want you to listen to this whole thing. It might help you. What am I prepared about, and what am I unprepared for? Okay, what am I prepared about? What am I unprepared for? Okay, a young person who does really poorly in school, because frankly, they just don't care. And so they get out of high school by the skin of their teeth and they go to work at Hooters or they go to work at McDonald's. They just, barely scrape by. Suddenly they're 23 or 24. And they realize this is not working out. I'm not doing this the rest of my life. And they get really motivated and they want to go to college, except they didn't prepare. Now they have to do something to make up for it. Whether that means they take college prep classes somewhere at a community college or a technical college, whatever they have to do, it might take a year or two to get prepared before they can even begin to take university or college classes. That's a simple preparation one, educational preparation. Then, of course, there is relational preparation. So, what are you doing to be prepared to have a good, healthy relationship? You think you just walk down the street, see some cute chick, start talking to her, you're going to end up getting married, everything's going to be fine? Whoa, let's not kid yourself, okay? Think you're just going to meet some cute dude in a bar one night, while you're out dancing with your friends, and then you're going to start dating, you're going to get married, everything's going to be great? I'm sorry, that's really not how it goes. In relational preparedness, you've got to start thinking about the kind of person that you are. Because I always say it's not about looking for Mr. Right or Miss Right, it's about being Mr. Right or being Miss Right. That's about you and your decisions and what you're doing so that you can be ready for a good relationship. You have to learn communication skills. You have to have some amount of character. Yeah, you know what? Everybody in the whole wide world can get into a relationship and they don't have to have character. They don't have to have communication skills, but often that relationship will frustrate the living fire out of them. It won't last, and it'll cause a lot of hurt and sometimes even a lot of lifetime damage, especially if they end up having 2 or 3 children. Then they end up getting divorced, and the rest of their lives they fight over those kids, and they make those kids' lives total living you know where. Why in the world would you do that if you have the opportunity of preparation in order to have a good relationship? So there is definitely an importance in relational preparation. Then, of course, there is employment preparation. In general, you don't just walk up to a place, say, "Hey, I want to go to work here," and they say, "Good deal. Here's your badge. Go for it." No, you have to know how to fill out a job application. You have to know what the requirements are. You have to meet the requirements. You might have to be able to write them a resume and tell them what you've done before, even if it was work at Hooters or McDonald's. You have to tell them about your education or lack thereof. Sometimes that will keep you from getting the job. You have to develop skills. You might need to be really good on the phone. And I still tell you the truth. You give me one of those phones with 4,000 buttons, honey, I can't do that. That is not one of my strengths. Now, give me a screaming pregnant lady who's dilated to 8 cms and going to deliver in the next half an hour. This I can stand. Don't give me one of those stupid phones with all the buttons. This is for real. Okay? But you have to get prepared for the kind of employment that you're going to have. That means you might need to be able to type, 70 words per minute. You might have to have certain kind of skills with Microsoft Excel or Outlook. Yes, you have to have employment preparedness. If you're not doing anything to get prepared to have a great job, chances are you're never going to have a great job. Okay? And of course, as we understand, you must have preparation in order to be a good, and especially in order to be a great parent. So let me talk to you about preparation for being a great parent. When do you want to prepare to be a great parent? Some of it, as we've already discussed a lot of times, and I'm going to keep discussing this because it's not going to change. It is about development of who you are as a human being. Because after all, we human beings are the very ones who raise good, responsible, dependable, reliable, mature children. And you have to prepare for that. Now, it could be as simple as watch paint a beautiful picture every day or 2 or 3 times a week, even if you don't have kids, even if you're not in a relationship, because you say, one day I'm going to be a parent. And just like I had to learn how to add and multiply as a kid because I need those skills all the time now as an adult, I'm going to learn about being a parent and developing myself as a human being long before I have that baby screaming in the crib and I'm going, oh, brother, what am I supposed to do now? Okay, so you begin to develop yourself and your character and who you are as a person. You also begin to look at regular things about kids. That might mean that you work in your nursery at your church on Sunday mornings or, Wednesday evenings. Might mean you are an assistant to a Sunday school teacher. It might mean that you do something like go into a nursery or even better, an NICU in a hospital and hold the babies. There are a lot of NICUs that need people to just hold and touch babies a couple hours a week. You might go and find someone that you know, an older person that has 5 or 6 kids, or even 2 or 3, and say, I don't really think I'm ready to babysit this many kids yet, but could I maybe hang at your house an afternoon every couple of weeks and see what it looks like? Because when kids get home from school, it looks pretty crazy. That's a good way for you to learn. And especially if that person is a good parent, you can start to watch how they handle things. That's a great opportunity for you. You can also do things like volunteer at a YMCA, like in a swimming class, or you can volunteer with something like T-ball or a little kid's soccer team, whatever kind of sport that you might be interested in, and start finding out ways kids act and ways kids interact. And you might go, oh my word, I'm never having a kid. This is not going to happen. But really, what you can see is the way that certain people parent leads to kinds of behaviors on the parts of their kids. And you can go, okay, well, this is probably not the way that I want to parent. And so now I need to look at skills that I need to develop so I can be a good parent, ways that I can teach my child to listen and follow directions and cooperate with others. There are so many skills that you need. You can start to see the ones that you believe are important to you. Every skill is not equally important to every parent. Every parent has their own ideas about their family and their children and the way that they intend to do things. But still, as you work with kids, you begin to develop an understanding of what it's going to take so that you might be prepared to be a good parent. Another thing I'm going to talk about, and it is directly related to being a parent, is financial preparation. Do you know there are a lot of people in the world at 17, 18, 19 that get pregnant? Ha! They don't even know how to scrape up a couple of bucks to put in their car so they have gas. And now they're going to have to feed and clothe and care for a baby. If you do not start thinking in these terms, what do I need to do so that I can be financially prepared to have a certain kind of life or lifestyle, you are not going to have an easy life. And so I want to encourage you, even as a very young person. I hope and pray that some of you are 14 or 15 actually listening to me. And in your mind you go, okay, I have to start being a financially responsible human being. If I'm going to be prepared to deal with life for the rest of my life financially, then I need to start now. This is what that looks like to me. You take your entire amount of money that you earn. We're going to use a month because months are easiest to me. In a month's time. Let's say you work at McDonald's. Nowadays, I believe they're paying around $15 an hour, and you only work 20 hours a week. Okay, but nonetheless, you're getting $300 a week. That's $1,200 a month. That's not bad, right? Even after they take taxes, you're around $1,000. Okay, so you got to put gas in your car, and you're hanging out with your friends, and you're buying clothes, and you go out and eat junk food all the time. You're basically spending all your money. Yeah, that's going to lead to disaster pretty soon in your life, because in a couple of years, you're going to walk out of your mom and dad's house. You're going to have all these responsibilities. You're not going to know what that looks like. So I would say spend 40 to 50% of your money on stuff you actually need. So that would be housing when you get to be grown up, an electric bill, a water bill, a phone bill, car insurance. Then take about 20% of your money and use that money on things that you like or want. Okay, so you do have to have clothes, or there's this awesome piece of equipment that you want to get for your car or for your bedroom. Great, save up for it a couple months if that's what that takes, but use about that much percentage for that. Always save, no joke, minimum 10%. 10% is the very least amount of your money that you need to save. Because you know what? If your car breaks down, it's going to cost $2,000 to fix it, and you have nothing. Either you're going to be walking, you're going to borrow it, or you're going to be a hardship on somebody else. You got to save. Things always happen, I promise you. And maybe you want to go on a really amazing trip. Well, you can't do that without cash either, so save. Make sure that you, if you're a Christian person, that you give 10% of your money to God. And frankly, even if you are not a Christian person, give 10% of your money away to someone. I don't care if you give it to a homeless shelter, to a family violence shelter. I don't care if you give it to the Paralyzed Veterans of America. I don't care where you give it, but don't keep everything for yourself. Give some part of your money away, okay? So you're up to 90%. You have 10%. I call that mad money. Everybody has to have mad money for something sometime. It's really the truth. Don't block yourself in so you don't have one penny to spend just to have fun. So whether that's to go to the movies or whether that's to take somebody out on a really nice date, make yourself a little bit of room in there so you have some mad money. So you need to get financially prepared to live life. So as soon as you start making money, handle that money in a responsible way. And as you get older, you'll get better and better and better at it. And to be a good parent requires financial responsibility. To be a great parent, you have got to have a stronghold of financial responsibility. Okay, I hope this helped you a lot today. I need you to intentionally start preparing to have a really good life and to be a great parent. Thank you so much for joining me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.